Hello, I am Sergeant Segura, and I'm here to train you today on one of the most important subjects that you'll hopefully never need to use. Active shooter training. Emergencies are unpredictable, and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. Preparing for an emergency makes you much more likely to be able to protect yourself and respond appropriately. If you find yourself in an active threat situation, you'll have to quickly decide what to do. Through this training, you can learn to always pay attention to where you are, and think through what you could do if a threat appears. Making the right choices can save yours, and others' lives. The main thing you need to remember is that in an active shooter crisis situation you have three choices: run, hide, fight. Let's take a look at these choices, shall we? Our first and most viable option in an active shooter situation is run. If possible, in an active shooter situation, you should always run to safety. If you can see an unobstructed exit and are safely away from the shooter, you should evacuate immediately. In this simulation you will need to use a specialized running system by holding down the A button on your right-hand controller and swinging your arms. Once you have reached safety, and are completely out of harm's way, be sure to call 911 and report the emergency. Do not assume that someone else has or will call for help, do so immediately. For this simulation, you can call 911 by pressing the X button to see your phone, and then pressing the 911 button. Remember, once you have dialed emergency services, to report all relevant information you have. Location of the active shooter. Number of shooters, if there is more than one. Physical description of the shooters. Number and type of weapons held by the shooters. Number of potential victims at the location. Now that you know how to run and safely escape a crisis situation, let's give it a go. You are about to be teleported to a typical office, where an active shooter situation will occur. Use everything you have learned to escape to safety. Remember, as intense as this may seem, it is only a simulation, and I have faith that if you follow the instructions laid out, you will escape safely. Good luck. You didn't make it. Be sure to follow the steps to survive this scenario. You can do this. Try the run scenario again.
"911, what's your emergency?"
Good job, you ran to safety and called 911 and survived. Next, you'll try hiding. You performed well and you now have the skills to run to safety in an emergency situation. Let's talk about your next best option: hide. If safely evacuating is not an option, you will need to hide. In order to safely hide, you'll need to be sure you lock or barricade the door between you and the shooter, turn off the lights, and choose a hiding spot that will obscure you from view. Once you're hidden, don't forget to call 911. Once hidden, and with help on the way, you will want to be sure to silence or turn off your cell phone. For this simulation you can do that by pressing the X button to see your phone, and then grabbing the turn off button with your free hand. Now that you know what to do, let's try the hide scenario. You will once again be teleported into an active shooter situation. Remember your hide checklist, and follow each step to keep you and everyone in the room safe. You've got this. Good luck. You didn't make it. Be sure to follow the steps to survive this scenario. You can do this. Try the hide scenario again.
"911, what's your emergency?"
Great job. You hid successfully by turning off the lights, locking and barricading doors, hiding, and calling 911. Now, it's time to fight. Great. In emergency situations you know to run to safety if you can, and what to do if you must hide. Those skills are invaluable in an emergency situation, and you've helped chances of survival. Now let's discuss your third and final, and I really mean final, option. Fight. I can't stress enough that the option to fight should only be considered if your life is in immediate risk, and your best chance of survival is to incapacitate the shooter. If you are unable to run or hide, your only choice may be to fight. In order to fight back, you will need to choose an improvised weapon and use it to incapacitate the shooter by either disarming them, or attacking one of their weak points. Be decisive and commit to action. Focus on distracting and immobilizing the shooter. Do not stop attacking until the aggressor is no longer a threat. If you are able to separate the shooter from their weapon, you need to constrain the shooter first. Then, do your best to secure the weapon. For this scenario, the shooter is not conscious. To secure the weapon, pick up the wastebasket, and place it on top of the weapon. Once the weapon is secured, remember to call 911. Now it's time to practice a fight simulation. Once again you'll enter the active shooter scenario. Notice you and your colleagues will be trapped with no safe place to hide. Your only option is to fight. You can do it. Good luck.
We're trapped. What do we do?
We have to fight. We don't have any choice. We have to try. Quick, grab a weapon.
"911, what's your emergency?"
Excellent. You survived the fight scenario by grabbing a weapon, fighting the shooter, securing the weapon, and calling 911. You have survived and shown proficiency in all three skills to help optimize your chances of survival in an active shooter situation. While the worst is over, we are not finished yet. It is important to make sure you know how to evacuate safely, follow instructions from law enforcement, and deal with the aftermath of such a tragedy. Let's start by reviewing what to do when law enforcement arrives on the scene in the aftermath of a shooting. In a moment, you'll be back in the office at the end of the hide scenario. The shooter has already been subdued and law enforcement is sweeping the scene. As you encounter the officers, be sure you follow their orders without hesitation as they still may not know who the shooter is yet.
Freeze. Don't move. Put your hands above your head. Where's the threat?
You complied with law enforcement, but you need to be as descriptive as possible. Your response could make a life or death difference. Try again.
Where's the threat?
You complied with law enforcement, but you need to be as accurate as possible. Any incorrect or uncertain details could cost lives. Try again.
Where's the threat? Put your hands back up. What does he look like?
Great job. You were quick to comply with law enforcement, and your actions and information has potentially helped save lives. In an actual crisis situation, be sure to comply with law enforcement and exit the building as soon as it is safe to do so. Please, always remember.
Hello, this is Karen McDarren from the Channel 7 News.
I need you to hang up that phone right now. That was your final test of this exercise. You must avoid talking to the media in the aftermath of a crisis situation. Any misinformation could be a threat to investigative efforts and to the safety of others as the situation continues to unfold. Congratulations! You have successfully completed your active shooter training. We understand this must have been an intense and possibly overwhelming experience, but you now have the first-hand skills and knowledge that could save the lives of yourself and your colleagues. Once again, congratulations, and great job.